Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing good today. This is Kyra Schaefer, As You Wish Publishing at AsYouWishPublishing.com. I am super excited for this amazing Wednesday. Wow, I get to be with Ghene't today. How many times did she hear that? I'm with Ghene't today. And let me introduce you to her. We're going to be talking about all kinds of self-care, self-love, self-healing, all kinds of good stuff as it relates to helping you transform and helping you have and build an amazing life for yourself, even if you're just starting out in this process. So Ghene't is a health and lifestyle transformation coach and has been an outdoor educator for 7 years and is certified in Ecotherapy and Wilderness First Aid and Rescue. That's so cool. She uses nature immersion, expressive meditation, and targeted exercise and fitness as modalities to unlock unconscious blocks in our lives and to awaken us to connect to our inner selves. She was most recently a contestant for Miss Health and Fitness Cover Contest, in which she placed third in her group. Unbelievably awesome. She is passionate about the link between spirituality and fitness and loves to share steps to wellness with others. She's also going to be doing a 30-day Walking into Wellness program that is coming up November 21st. So help me welcome the wonderful Ghene't Lee-Yong. Hi.
Hello, how are you? It's good to be here.
Good, really good. Here with our millions of listeners.
That's okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
So Ghene't, let's just dive right in here because I think it's important. I am one of those people. I mean, I would be probably like a success story for you if we ever work together because I am so resistant to fitness.
And it's funny, a lot of people are. And to be honest with you, I really didn't get into like the, working out part of it until about February of this year. So, I started off just walking, and watching my diet. And I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with calorie counting, but I did. I calorie counted. I was over 50 pounds overweight. My life was out of control. There were many, many issues, and I needed some sort of control in my life. And that was something that I can control. I could control the numbers. It was just a numbers game for me. And then I walked. And I had a very specific process that I went through to increase my steps. But really what happened is that I was walking outdoors and going to all these different parks. And then I discovered hiking because I have a thyroid issue, which is an immune problem, which means my body doesn't recognize my thyroid. And so if I overstress my body, I can trigger my immune system to kind of attack itself. And so I knew I couldn't do anything too strenuous. And I discovered that hiking, you can get the same benefits as running, but you're still just walking. So, and I live in this beautiful Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes. I like what I'm hearing. I like what I hear.
Yes.
You're in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Go ahead.
Yeah. And started hiking the trails here and just absolutely fell in love with the hills and the trails and the mountains and being amongst the trees at the different times of year and the vistas that you see and the quiet that's out there. Even though there's many people in the woods with you, you just feel like you're by yourself. And there's such connection and such peace out there. And I learned so much, and I didn't think that I would learn from nature, but I did. I learned that it's okay to be imperfect and it's still beautiful and it's still okay. I would pass by these trees with things lodged into them, axes and just chains and just weird stuff. And it occurred to me that we're like that sometimes, whereas we come across a situation in our life that kind of stops us, right? And it's like an axe in us, or it's like a chain that got stuck. And whether it's a relationship with a spouse or a friend or a boss or anybody, or it's a bad car accident that put us behind, or a health issue. And a lot of times we think, oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to stop moving. But really, what does the tree keep doing? It just keeps growing. That piece is still there. It's still part of it. It just grows right around it and just keeps going. And I thought to myself, I can be like that. I can just keep moving, and I can keep growing and keep changing and becoming who I'm destined to be. And I think that we're all kind of like that. We have these situations that come up in our lives and it kind of stops us. But then we have to regroup and breathe and keep going forward and figuring out how we're going to do that with kind of dignity and grace that allows us to be who we truly are and who God truly meant us to be. And fitness really ties into that, because what you do with your body is really an indicator of how you kind of feel about yourself on the inside. And so I was at a place where I wasn't feeling appreciated. I didn't appreciate myself, but every time I walked out my door and went on a walk or went on a hike, I was physically, with my actions, saying to myself, you're worth it. You're worth 10 minutes today. You're worth 30 minutes today. You're worth sitting down and having your meditation in the woods with God. Because I'm important, and we are all important. And whatever piece of that we can get can really transform how we view ourselves. And that's all it takes to change your life, is how you view yourself. Because really all of our blocks in life, I think, come from us. You don't go for that job interview. You don't, walk up to that girl or that guy and say something because of how you feel in your side, right? And so it's how we feel about ourselves that really moves us in our direction in life. Yeah.
I could just sit here and just listen to you like indefinitely. Like I just keep talking. But it's so interesting. Like I have 1,000,001 resistant questions. So and it's not, no, actually, I did this year during the pandemic. One of the things that I did decide on was, obviously we were taken out of my addiction is not fast food, but eating out. Mm-hmm. It's a way I cope with stress. It's the way I did. And it was a way for me to get out and be around people, because I work inside in my house and I don't interact and I don't have coworkers really, except for Todd. And, we're husband and wife. It's a different dynamic.
Right.
And so, you can only talk to the dog so much before you start to go, am I okay? And so, I decided, well, obviously the pandemic caused that addiction to break in me. And so, because I just wasn't willing to take a chance on that. And I also wasn't willing to put anybody else into jeopardy, by me being out in the world if I was asymptomatic. So we broke that habit. We started eating only at home. I started watching all cooking shows, and, quick meals, easy meals that I could make at home that were similar to the meals I would get somewhere else. Doing it quickly, all that kind of stuff, because I had such a strong, it was a self-medicating thing. And so I lost 25 pounds as a result. Wow. Yeah, as a result of that. And then because my brain is so needs something to trick it into things. My brain needs to be tricked into activity.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. My husband got a Ring Fit thing. It's a video game, and you run around and you jump and you do things, and you have this toy essentially, and you go around and you do stuff. And so that helped me get a bit more tone. So when it comes to, and like you said before, it was like, well, hiking has the same benefit as running, but it's not probably as hard on your body and different things like that. So do you have any other kinds of, for people like me who have any of this reason? Because I know that, when and I even said it in your bio, is that you can break down some of these mental blocks, mental barriers, when we do some things that are in alignment with our self-love and self-care. Do you have any tips for people that are in process of learning about this in a whole new way for themselves, maybe because of the pandemic?
Well, I really do try to think of it as my time with my higher power. Or I mean, and whatever that is for anybody, it could be the universe, your spirit guides, angels, you know, whoever, Mother Nature. And whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes. And then another little trick that I do for myself, when I'm really just trying to like, I need to get my workout in today, I do 100 reps. And basically I break that down into 5 different exercises, which is 20 reps of each. And I just do them throughout the day. So I'll write them down. Well, I'll do 20, you know, weight lifts today, 20 squats, 20 leg lifts, 20 crunches. And then that really kind of breaks it down very easily. So at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I did 100 things. So, and it feels really good. But then I also kind of tie that in with like my gratitude list, because I do my gratitude, you know, every day. And if I can then put that in with, okay, this set, what 20 things am I grateful for with these crunches? And I've done that with my planks. So I had a really important court date coming up one time. And I did this like 5-minute plank challenge from my local gym. And I held that plank for 5 minutes, and the entire time I was in prayer about that court date and how it was going to go. And so I just really tie everything in to my fitness world and to my walking, even into my eating, because really everything that we take into us becomes us. I mean, literally on the cellular level, we're all nature. I am nature. You are nature. So, you know, even those things that I eat, I try to say to myself, you know, just very briefly, it doesn't have to be like a 30-minute meditation before I eat or anything like that, but just like, I am eating this and it is going to nourish my body, and my body is going to take what it needs and it's going to leave the rest. And then that way I go into my meal eating with intention. And there's a purpose to that. Not always. I mean, I had donut yesterday. It was a very, very good donut. And my intention for that was just to eat it and have fun. You know, and that's okay too. Especially if, for the most part, you are eating very healthy. There's nothing wrong with having a little snack here and there, because you don't want to restrict yourself too much. The idea is that how whatever we put into our bodies or do with our bodies is showing to the universe how much we appreciate ourselves. And so if I am constantly doing things that make my body feel bad, eating the wrong things, not sleeping, you know, watching too much TV, or conversely, overworking myself, what is the message that I'm sending out to the universe? Is that I don't care about myself. I don't love myself. I don't appreciate this vessel that I was given. And so that's what I will attract back to me. And so I think of it in that way, that whatever I'm doing to myself is what I'm telling the universe I want. You know, I want to be respected. I want to be cared for. And I want to be surrounded by people who are caring and loving. And I want to be able to give that caring and loving. And I can't give it to anybody else until I give it to myself first. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just want to acknowledge Rena Escalante on here. She's giving a shout out to you and to us. She hikes in Lake Tahoe. Oh, I hike here in Southern Lake Tahoe, maybe. I think that's what she's saying. Rena also is giving a shout out. She said, reinventing ourselves. Right. She's incredible. Talking about you. Rena says, I eat paleo and it's changed my life and helps my autoimmune diseases.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I do eat a lot of paleo, not completely, but I do. And then like once a month, what I do is a full vegetarian week where I just eat, you know, fruits, vegetables, roots, grains. And that also really helps. And I used to fast, but it's been harder to get that kind of routine in lately, you know, with the children and everything. But I would try to fast like once every other week. And that is a spiritual thing and also a physical thing. It really does help your body kind of just take a break and process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really like that. I really like that. I definitely feel if my body is overwhelmed. I also learned that I had a pretty serious gluten intolerance and dairy intolerance too, as I've been kind of going along this process. And that's something I think that people don't realize when their food and their bodies don't match. And so, you can think, well, I'm eating really healthy and I'm eating this whole grain.
But we froze.
Sorry, we got stuck. I'm sorry. And so I must have an issue with talking about healthy food. But anyway, so there's these things, and I'm like, oh, okay, then I'll eat that, or I'll only eat salads, or I'll, eliminate carbs, or and then you feel sluggish and tired, and then you're like, no, but my body wants sugar, and then it eats the wrong sugar, and so it's so interesting when you do what you're talking about, which is that conscious eating piece where you're saying, okay, what does my body want right now? Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I ran into was, just being tired of eating.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, I got to do that again. And then it just becomes a hassle. And so, when we talk about spirituality coming into this whole thing, I think that is the most important thing that you said was it's exercise, exercise, and what we eat and how we treat ourselves is the example we're showing the universe to say, this is how I would like to be treated in all other areas of my life as well, with respect, with dignity, with feeling good, with connection. That is, I think if everyone like wholeheartedly in their soul and being got that and still ate their donut every once in a while.
That's right.
Things would change for people.
Yeah, I'm not a really huge sweets person. My big sweet is my oatmeal. I like to eat my oatmeal every day, and that I will have like I'll do mostly, plain oats, but then I'll put a little scoop of the, what is it called? The maple brown sugar, oatmeal in there too. My weakness is savory foods. I love salty foods. So I've learned to just make sure I have a lot of seasoning when I cook. And then also, so instead of chips, I'll eat like seaweed because that still kind of gives me that, crunch and, instead. And then, if I do buy chips, I try to look for like, the plantain chips, with low sodium, that type of thing, the different type of chips. I try to look for baked instead of fried. And then they have like these fava beans, you can get them in the Whole Foods section, which is like peas and chickpeas. And, and they're baked and they're delicious. And so I feel really I get my little chip craving fix exactly out, and then and I still feel good because it's it's healthy. It's mostly healthy. Yeah,
we started I started watching some YouTube videos, like I said, on different types of food, and one of my biggest weaknesses has been Asian food. I love Vietnamese food. I love pho. I love everything, and I was like, can I make that? Can I make General's chicken at home? Can I do that? And what was been so interesting, I made a beautiful fried rice last night. It was awesome. And all the stuff that restaurants use, like MSG, peanut oil, other kinds of oils, things like that do not match with my body at all. But I think there's no other option. I completely eliminate out of the dishes that I make. So it tastes the same or better. And my body, taking on that spiritual awareness of it, my body takes it and it goes, oh, I know what to do with this. I know exactly what cell to put that in. I know exactly where this is supposed to go. Instead of it going, what is
What
this?
is that? I don't even know how to process that.
You have to go to the bathroom
Right over
immediately.
here with the little fat section.
Right. Oh, I know where that
Go
goes.
right there on the hip.
Right.
Exactly.
Right here. This is where it's like right here.
Oh my God. Yeah, mine goes right to my
well,
midsection. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about that self-care piece.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge that I come into often is that I know what to do,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a part of me that doesn't feel, this is gonna, I don't know, it doesn't feel deserving,
Mm-hmm.
or too hooked in to some other addictive behavior. So I'm too hooked into the television or something else that isn't healthy. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I know that self-care, but that means I have to get off the couch. I know it sounds really, really lazy, and maybe I'm the only one that does this, but I'm like, I don't want to move. I'm too tired. I'm too emotionally exhausted. I'm too depressed. I'm too upset about something. And the television is just taking me down further down the rabbit hole. So can you tell me what can we do to get us some gumption underneath us to do the self-care piece, and what are some easy things we could do?
So the self-care piece is it's crucial, and it can be the most difficult part of it all, because when you're doing self-care, you're really stopping everything. You're stopping children, you're stopping the spouse, you're stopping, for me, the hardest, the work, the job. You're stopping the friends, and you're saying, this is my time for me. This is me and my God, and nobody else comes into this little circle right now. This is just our time together. And I think it can start off with very little things. You know, if we often think of self-care as I have to go for the massage and get my nails done, and but it could be as simple as spending 5 minutes just really contemplating how you put your face wash on your face. You're just in the mirror, you're just putting it on, and you're saying to yourself, this is on my face, I can feel my cheekbones, I can feel my chin, I can feel my nose, and just being in total connection with your feelings at that time. 5 minutes, that's it, and that's self-care. You know, and sometimes it's okay to sit in front of the TV. Sometimes I pull my weights out in front of the TV because my brain is going, and if I don't have something to distract me, I can't get into that mode. So, you know, I'll jog in place. If you have a treadmill, you can do that in front of the TV as well. It doesn't always have to be a fitness thing, you know. It could be just, you know, putting some nail polish on your nails, sitting out on the balcony and just breathing in the fresh air with some tea and some coffee. And if you can commit to 5 minutes a day of just spending alone time with yourself, it is much quiet as you can get. It can be hard. And it's all it can start off as is 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to just drink the coffee or your tea and think about how it tastes. Feel the warmth of it as it goes down your throat, and just really be in that complete presence and in that moment. And you're just being completely grateful for that little time. And then sometimes, and this is going to sound harsh, if it is a self-care of like getting outside and walking or exercising, sometimes it's, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go outside. This morning, I wore my pajamas to my walk this morning because I didn't even
Sounds great.
my clothes. I just threw my sneakers on, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And I went out. And I was wearing these like purple pajama pants, and it was like neon blue shirt. I don't know. It was weird. I'm like, what are people thinking? Like, who cares?
No one cares. My husband often jokes with me because I will have something pretty nice on top and then wearing like something that doesn't match on the bottom, and it's like pajama pants or something. He's like, you got like party on top and like what? Like going to bed on the bottom.
Yeah. Like at the beginning of COVID, I would get up and shower and get dressed and, you know, be all professional. And then now it's like, just grab my computer and open it up.
I know. There's parts of me that feel like there's so many benefits to this, but my personal appearance is not one of them. Although when I do get dolled up, I'm like, I look great.
Yeah, who are you? I want to take you out on town. Oh,
We're gonna go to
that.
the grocery store.
Then that reminds me when as we're talking about food and going out and self-care. So I just recently went through a divorce, and one of the self-care things that I would do would be to take myself out to eat. And I'm trying to my camera right here. And I would think, oh, well, I can't go to this restaurant because I don't have anybody to go with. But I would just take myself to the whatever nice restaurant it was. And I've had so much fun going to these different little places. And that is also an act of self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking yourself out somewhere. If it's to a movie, or if it's to go get, a cup of coffee, or to go sit somewhere a little fancy and it's just you by yourself and you just grab yourself an appetizer or something like that. It doesn't have to be super expensive. But that's another way of telling yourself that you're worth it. So when you do those little things, it becomes easier to go out and take that walk because you're already worth it. I did my face this morning. I did my nails. I went and got myself that fancy cup of coffee, or sat down and had that meal at that ritzy restaurant. So yeah, I'm going to go for that hike. Yeah, I'm going to go work out for 20 minutes in front of, whoever workout person you follow on TV. Because you're already saying that you're worth it. Your body already knows. And that's the important thing about those 5 minutes a day. It's not that particular 5 minutes is the most important 5 minutes, is that those habits build up over time. And every time you do that, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain that are connecting to the way you think about yourself. And then your prefrontal cortex and your motor cortex can work together so that when you're moving your body, those thoughts are also going subconsciously. I'm worth it. I can do this, Yeah.
I love that. I love bringing in the suggestion, or the awareness, the affirmation, all that kind of stuff, the prayer, into the physical activity, because it is exactly like we're saying. You're saying it helps bring all of the resources of the brain together, which creates entire full body function. So that's incredible. So now you have a program that is going to be coming out. You said, I think November 21st. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm calling it Walking into Wellness, and I'm doing it mostly thinking about the fact that a lot of times at this time of year is the huge time that we let go of a lot of our self-care, because we're running around trying to take care of everybody else, making sure, whatever it is that you celebrate, that's going really well, and the food is cooked and everyone's happy. And this year, oh my gosh, it's going to be so different, because how are we even going to do any of those things? Some of us are in more of a lockdown area than others, but how are we going to manage that and still be safe, And then January comes and it's like, wow, where did that pounds come from? And why do I feel so crappy? And we just had this wonderful season, and now I feel, I'm depressed. And obviously there's a lot of benefits to exercise, and one of those things that it raises your serotonin levels, your dopamine, it makes you feel better. And so the idea of the program is 30 days leading up to the end of the year, that you're in this program where you're walking, you're talking about your feelings, you're learning a little bit of food diary processing, and also expressive meditation, which is meditation, but then taking that mindfulness moment and then putting it into physical action. So either writing or drawing or mantra or, something like that. And just to kind of help you get through those 30 days. And then you get through the end of the year and you feel like you've taken care of you. Even if you ate all the pie, you still went on your walk once a week, you still got to talk to your friends or new people, hopefully, about your feelings, and then also take some techniques back home to your family that you can also teach them to kind of get through the seasons and the ups and downs of life. Yeah.
I think that's why this talk is so perfect right now, because it's right. That's like the biggest excuse I used to give. It's like, well, we've got family, we've got this, I got to do this kind of thing. And, or, I know I'm going to put on weight. I know, because I'm going to eat this and I'm going to eat anything I want. And a friend of mine who's a dietitian, she said, the holiday is only 2 days, right? And I'm like, but wait a minute. I think I can poke some holes in that somehow.
That's right.
And she's like, no, you can't.
Right.
And so and that's what I love about people that are willing to say, Kyra, come on, girl. Get up. Go ahead, walk. It's all right.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. And having a program like this, having somebody to be a support like you, I think makes all the difference in people's life and experience, because I love that you take this really wonderful spiritual approach to like perfect health and wellness and fitness, instead of kind of like, okay, just get up and go. When I'm the type of person, when I really understand the holistic approach, I understand the whole idea. Why does this matter? I think you're answering that question, because I think it's all of these long-term effects and benefits. And like I said, having somebody like you that is encouraging, who's kind-hearted, whose purpose is to bring about positive change in people's lives, because you have experienced a positive change in your life as a result of choosing yourself. I could not think of a better mentor, a better partner in doing that than you. So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for being that for us in this world.
Thank you. It's I distinctly remember when I got that download from the universe that this is what I was supposed to do. I was at a work, I want to call it a retreat, but it's not. It was like a workshop we were doing for work, and I was still an outdoor educator at the time. And we were in the mountains, the South Cumberland Mountains, and I had gone out to Stone Door. And as I was standing close by the edge of the cliff there, and I was thinking about how far I'd come. It was the first time I'd hiked by myself, and like in the mountains like that. I'd never been up that high before by myself. And it's like only 3,000 feet, but at the time it was just like incredible. And I was by myself. I had done it on my own. And I thought, other people have to know what this feels like, because I felt so powerful and so invincible in that moment. Like I just knew that this whole new world was opened up to me. I didn't know exactly where it was going. I still don't know really, but I wanted to go on that road, and I wanted other people to know that they could feel that power as well. They could be that connected.
Yeah, it's a truly genuine, authentic approach to helping people heal themselves and move towards that level of transformation that you've talked about. So when we look at, and we'll just kind of wrap it up here as we go, but unless we feel like keeping on, which is all entirely possible.
And I would, but I have to go back to work.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I forgot.
I know.
You got to do. So I guess finally, when it comes to self-care and self-love, in what way do you feel that impacts someone spiritually and emotionally, and how does that really truly change someone? Have you seen anything happen in people's lives or in your own life where you can go, wow, there is a direct correlation between my approach to health and wellness and making life better all around?
I think, and this is my personal opinion, that most people want to have an impact in other people's lives. And the more we take care of ourselves and the better we feel about ourselves, the less harsh and critical we are about others. The less harsh and critical we are about others, the more at ease other people are around us. And that changes everything. I mean, it changes everything when you can look at your children and smile and it's genuine and you know you're going to go out and you're going to have a great time. It changes everything. And at the core of all of us is love. And in my own personal belief, I believe love comes from God, comes from the universe. And we were given ourselves the way we are out of love, to experience this life. And the more that we can love ourselves, the more that we can love each other. And it doesn't matter how many things you have. It doesn't matter how many layers of visible abs I have. If I don't have love in my life, it doesn't matter. It's just a shell. It's just a body at that point. It doesn't really mean anything. But when I combine that with the fact that I'm taking care of myself and then I'm passing this on to somebody else, my children or people that I work with or my friends, then it makes a difference. And I think that that's where that self-care and that self-love piece comes in, because once you love yourself, you just get full and you can't help but start sharing it with other people. And how is that not a transformational thing, right?
It's absolutely transformational. My heart is fuller having had you in my life today. Yes. And all of, I think like 2 years, last year, maybe year and a half, I think we've known each other. And you're such a delight. I love following you on Facebook and, seeing your pictures with you and your kids and just living a lovely life. And I think it is a direct correlation to how you treat yourself. And it is very obvious that you walk your talk. And, I know that doesn't mean that, we all are always got it all figured out, nobody's getting guru-ized here. It's just that when you see someone like Ghene't, living a life that they talk about and being that person that that if I feel like I know that if I texted her or messaged her that I could easily get some kind of kind, loving response. And those people that you have in your life right now that are that way are such a blessing. They are such a blessing. And I think Ghene't was just saying, it does start with us, because the more love we feel, the more love we can give, the more kind we are to ourselves, the more kind we can be to other people. It's just a beautiful message, Ghene't. So thank you so much for taking your time with me today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I love you.
I love you too. And tell people how they can find out about the program that you've got on November 21st.
So if you go to strongereveryday1111.com, you can find it there. It'll be under the 30-day wellness program. Also, you can just check out my IG, strongereveryday1111, and then my Facebook page. So, so that's how you can find out about it if you'd like to join. And hopefully next year I'll do something that's like online so I can reach more people. Yeah.
That sounds great. And thank you, Raina and Rena, for joining us and making comments. That's awesome. Thank you all for listening and for being with us. And I hope that you continue your own physical, emotional, spiritual journey in whatever way feels the best to you. If you want to write about it, you can go over to asyouwishpublishing.com and write with us. We have an awesome, easy publish package that is available. We make it affordable. We make it easy because really our purpose here is to help get the message out that you have in your heart to share. with the world. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, please subscribe, please like, and we're just so incredibly happy we get to have this venue and this space and get to hold this space with you guys. So Ghene't, again, thank you so much for being our guest today. I hope you'll join us again sometime.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much. Ghene't, hang out with me for 1 second, and I'm going to go ahead and end this thing. Saying thank you, and we'll be talking to you again soon.